Hi, I'm here to warn you about the dangers of caffeine. Now, caffeine is a very powerful drug, and some people it doesn't affect in a negative way or doesn't seem to affect them in a negative way. However, it does cause more energy, sometimes way too much energy for a human being to balance. Sometimes you scapegoat others, sometimes it's just way too intense, and it's better to be calm and more focused and not have tons and tons of extra energy. Or even if you don't get the energy, sometimes you can drink a bunch of it and it doesn't necessarily give you the energy, but the worst part about it is that it works as a diuretic. Now, I'm not saying it's always negative. Sometimes it can be, you can take advantage of the good things that it does, and but the problem is that sometimes it works as a diuretic too much, way too much, and there's certain nutrients that your body stores throughout your digestive system and stuff, and it has it for when you run out of food in a case of an emergency. If if you were living in nature, as historically human beings have, sometimes there would be shortages of food. You have to have some sort of stores, and before it goes to the fat stores, there are other places in your body where in your digestive tract and stuff, where food is, and caffeine clears all of that out. And your brain, especially when you're drinking it in the morning and all you have is caffeine, you don't have any other food for a long time, you have the tendency to not be hungry and eat more food. You're depriving your brain of nutrients, of essential nutrients, so that it can function properly. And it can not only affect your mental health, but it can also affect your physical health. I personally believe that it can cause issues with joint pain and other problems in the body by taking the nutrients out of your system, and your body doesn't have that storage that was normal. And it's been proven actually that caffeine, the coffee beans, the cocoa beans, are kind of a poison. They're kind of a poison. And what they do is it shocks your body and tricks it, because it's like this thing that's not supposed to be in its system, and it has like a weird effect on your body, and your body reacts by either overcompensating, which gives you all that energy, or by, it could shut you down if you're allergic to caffeine. Some people, it affects their heart, makes their heart race too fast, and it's very bad for them, and they can really be allergic to it. So some people, if they can't figure out what it is, coffee, caffeine, soda, even cola that has caffeine and it seems like it doesn't have a lot, could be really affecting them in a negative way. That could be the problem sometimes if you don't know what it is, if you cut out caffeine. So I found recently, and throughout the course of my life, decades of drinking caffeine, I'll give an example. More recently, I was just so high strung. I would drink coffee in the morning, have very little food. It's just a habit that you fall into. You wake up, drink your coffee, you don't feel like eating food, so you don't drink it for a long time, or eat food. You don't drink milk, food, whatever it is, you don't have any of it. You just have the caffeine, and it lowers your appetite and also dehydrates you, in addition to taking the essential nutrients out of your system. Sometimes, if some people are okay with it. It's been proven you can live a very long, healthy life with caffeine. However, I'm just saying that it's not for everyone. And if you have a sensitivity to anxiety, stress, if you're a sensitive person like I am, then caffeine can really agitate you and bring out problems. And I believe in the past it was the cause for me going to a psychologist and psychiatrist, having too much caffeine and having very little food, and like trying to lose weight and look good, and on top of the caffeine and not having enough hydration, all this, I think it caused some sort of instability in my diet, and stability of actually negative things, which which would be counteractive in itself and pointless. So the point is that it's negative in some instances, and you have to be very careful of caffeine. And it's a fact that it just takes all the nutrients out of your body. And when they say it's a diuretic, it causes, people don't want to say it, but this is what it does to everybody almost when they drink caffeine, is that they have to sit on the toilet bowl and make a number two and do that a bunch. And that's what the diuretic effect is. It takes all that stuff out of your system, and it gives you the psyched up energy, and you're like, it kind of has the effect of having more energy, so you make muscle gains easier, and then your body starts using the stores of food or whatever it has in your digestive system. It goes to the fat instead and starts taking from that. Since you have so much energy, it's not really taken from your muscles, and it creates the look of being in better physical health. It actually helps you perform better in athletics and stuff like that. However, if you do it long term, it's very bad for you and can deprive your brain of essential nutrients. And it can deprive your body of essential nutrients for in between meals, when you're used to having a certain balance in life and certain type of health. So it can be very dangerous by taking all that stuff out of your body, that actually a more balanced diet without this super intense drugs that flush your system out and stuff all the time. I don't think that it's very healthy on a regular basis. I think here and there, if you wanted to go to a weightlifting competition or perform in athletics or something like that, then that morning you could drink caffeine, as a one-time thing, and just gives you tons of energy more than normal. But if you're doing it every day, I don't think it's a very healthy thing. For some people, they can get away with it and it works well for you and everything. However, just be aware that if there are certain problems in your life, if you have overwhelming anxiety, you can't function. It's just really, if you're always tapping your feet like this, tapping your feet, stuff like that, and you think it's normal or whatever and stuff. I've actually done that before, not quite that much, but it's actually because I couldn't calm down and just relax and feel this feeling of peace and happiness and mental well-being, and just being really in touch with just clarity of thought, of your thoughts that you want to think, not the negative anxiety, which if you look up anxiety, the definition of it is negative, overwhelming thoughts, like negative thoughts that you don't want in your mind, and they're overwhelming and trying to negate the things that you really want to be thinking about. So caffeine can cause that majorly, because it takes the nutrients away from your body that your brain is functioning on, especially in between meals if you're dieting and everything. Your neurons need those nutrients. So that's what I found. It caused problems with my mental stability, so I stopped using caffeine. I just had caffeine this morning for the first time in weeks, and I started to feel that instability and everything coming back. It wasn't as bad as it was many weeks ago when I was having many cups of coffee a day, and I just could not function. I could not figure out what is wrong with me, and I finally cut out caffeine. I slept. I took so many naps once I quit caffeine throughout the day. I ate more food, and my body really had to recuperate and just rest. I didn't look any heavier, really that much heavier or anything, because I was resting so much. That's actually part of working out, health, fitness, lifting weights, is that your body needs to rest to recover from the exercise, and you actually make gains, muscle gains, or you make you get in better shape as you sleep. So I was sleeping a lot, eating a little more food than normal, and I did that for like 2 weeks, and I felt so mentally well adjusted without caffeine. It was like this peaceful, really peaceful time. So I suggest just cutting out caffeine and resisting the urge to do it and just not doing it, and get through that phase where you're eating a little more food and resting more and not having as much energy, and then you'll get more balanced. Make yourself exercise more when you can, and that'll even give you more energy. The more you get yourself to exercise, do weights, whatever you do, physical stuff, that'll give you even more energy as you build up to it, and then you won't need the caffeine. And maybe every once in a while have caffeine in the morning, and I wouldn't get in the habit of doing it every day, because you can, if you really think it works with you and it's never had any negative effects. But if you start noticing the negative effects on either your brain or your body, if it's causing pains or anything like that, you might want to just quit doing it. So that's it. Okay, just wanted to warn you about the dangers of caffeine.